Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk, the first Box Office Talk for 2017. That's fantastic. Happy New Year everybody. And before we get into this video, I just wanted to say, last week I screwed up with my predictions because Hidden Figures I thought was being released wide this weekend, but apparently it's next weekend with A Monster Calls and the newcomer Underworld Blood Wars, so my bad. You already know that I got my predictions wrong, but nonetheless, let's go over what I predicted last time, which was that number 1 would be Rogue One. Number 2 would be Sing. Number 3 would be Hidden Figures, but we already know that's wrong. Number 4 would be Passengers, and number 5 would be Why Him. But even though I messed up with Hidden Figures, I still got 3 out of 5 of my predictions right, and all of these movies here are movies that I've already talked about. There's really nothing new that I can add, so this is probably going to be a quicker episode, so I'm sorry for that if you're upset about that, but let's just get into it. Number 1 was once again Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It made $49 million domestically, adding to a domestic total of $424 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is at $789 million, so it's almost at $800 million. That's fantastic, which is $800 million would be when it quadruples its budget, which is fantastic. Let's hope that Rogue One gets to $1 billion. Anyways, number 2 is still Sing. It made $42 million, which is a little bit bigger than what it made last weekend, which is very good, and that adds to a domestic total of $166 million. I guess since it is the holidays and kids are out of school, they wanted to go see Sing, which is pretty cool. And on the worldwide chart, it is at $277 million, so it was able to double its $75 million budget, and it's on its way of tripling it. Actually, I think it already did triple its budget because 150, 225. Yeah, it already did triple its budget, so it's on its way of quadrupling that budget, which is very good. Sing is actually turning out to be a pretty big hit for Illumination. Maybe not as big as Secret Life of Pets, but still, it's pretty good. Number 3, it's the same as last week. The top 3 were exactly the same. Passengers, it made $16 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $61 million, which is alright for it. It still is on that budget of $110 million, and it needs to get to 220 to double it and be considered a financial success. So that's not the best thing ever. But hey, at least it made more money than it did last week. I'm pretty sure it went up just a little bit, but still, it's not going to become like a financial success or anything. This is still kind of a big flop for Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. Moving on to number 4, which is Moana, which actually got up a little bit. I'm very surprised about that. It made $10,974,000, and that adds to a total of $210 million domestically. And on the worldwide chart, it is at $402 million. It is closing in on $500 million. Let's hope it gets to $500 million worldwide. That would be great for this film that I love very much. If you watched my best of the year list, wink wink, nudge nudge, you should go watch it. I mentioned this on there as my favorite animation, as I've done multiple times, as I've talked about it in these Box Office Talk videos. So if you haven't seen it yet, somehow go out and see it. It's one of the best of 2016. Number 5 was the final one I got right for the top 5. Why Him? This weekend it made $10,600,000, and that adds to a domestic total of $34 million. So it's only $4 million away from crossing the $38 million budget that it has, and it needs to get to 76 to double it. And it was released in other places, believe it or not. The worldwide chart is at $51 million. So it needs $25 million more to be considered a financial success. Maybe it'll get there, I'm not sure. It probably won't be considered a big success. Maybe it'll just get that budget back, but hey, it's still good that it's making some money. At number 6, we have Fences. This weekend it made $10,045,000, and that adds to a domestic total of $29 million, and that's very good. It got its $24 million budget back, and usually you'd have to double it to have it be considered a box office success, so around $48 million. Since it is an Oscar-type film, it'll probably stick around for a while. That reminds me, like in 2 weeks we're going to get like Oscar nominations, so Fences will probably be up there and people will see that it gets nominated and try to find it, so possibly it'll get the doubling point for that one. Number 7 is my favorite film of 2016, La La Land. This movie made $9 million this weekend, and that adds to a domestic total of $34 million, so it got its budget back there, but on the worldwide chart, it is at $64 million, so this movie doubled its budget. Thank God that it's a financial success. Please, let Damien Chazelle make more movies. This is a fact right here, proof that people want to go see what he puts out. please let Damien Chazelle keep working. I hear he's making a Neil Armstrong biopic with Ryan Gosling. That sounds intriguing, and I'm just glad La La Land is making a lot of money. Now we get to number 8, a movie that's not making a lot of money, Assassin's Creed. This weekend it made $8 million, and that adds to a total of $39 million domestically, and on the worldwide chart it is stuck at $86 million. There's just no way it's going to be able to get past its budget, or double it for that matter. You're going to have to scrap your Assassin's Creed trilogy plans, 20th Century Fox, because clearly no one really wants to see them. At number 9, we have Manchester by the Sea, another movie that is an Oscar-type film that more people are going out to see. It made $4,239,000 this weekend, and that adds to a domestic total of $28 million. And this is only on a budget of 8.5, so clearly it's a success right now as far as low budget Oscar type movies go, and I'm still hearing great things about this movie, but I still haven't seen it yet, so hopefully I get to before the Oscars, because I'm sure it's going to be a huge one at there. But finally, number 10, a movie that tried to be Oscar bait, but it failed, Collateral Beauty. This weekend it made $4,150,000, and that adds to a total of $25 million domestically, and on the worldwide chart it is at $46 million, so surprisingly it passed its budget of $36 million. The thing is, it probably won't be able to double it, which would be $72 million. So, and it's going to leave the top 10 soon anyway, so yeah, there's no way Collateral Beauty, there's no way we're going to be seeing that movie again anytime soon. But now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Now I'm going to be bold here and predict that number 1 will still be Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I'm going to hold out strong on this one. I'm going to say that it gets the number 1 one last time, and I'm going to say number 2 will be Underworld Blood Wars, because I know there is a fan base for those films, and I know the series usually opens with around 20 million, so I think Rogue One will just barely get past it. Then I'm going to say number 3 is Sing. I'm going to say number 4 will be Hidden Figures, which is releasing wide, and number 5 will be A Monster Calls, which is releasing wide, according to Box Office Mojo. Hopefully these top 5 aren't horribly wrong. I don't know, but what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now, unless you didn't get it right, probably because of me, because I said Hidden Figures was releasing wide, and it wasn't. I'm sorry, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.